Hello everyone, I am Pratyush Srivastav and welcome back to my channel. So in this Python series videos, we have already discussed numeric data type, that is your int float complex. Then we have discussed what is Boolean data type, that is true and false. And we have discussed sequence data type, that is list, string and tuple. Before moving ahead with dictionary, there is one more important topic which is there, that is known as mutability versus immutability. That means mutables and immutables. What is the meaning of mutables and what is the meaning of mutables? That we will discuss in this video. So coming to the mutables, so before mutables and immutables, first we need to understand how many types of data types are there, in which category we are having different type of data types. So whatever data types we are having, all these categories are divided into two objects or two different types. First is known as mutable objects or mutable data type, and second is known as immutable objects or immutable data type. Now coming to the definition of immutable objects or immutable objects and mutable objects, so let's first discuss mutable objects. So what is mutable objects? So mutable objects means the objects that can be modified. So what is the meaning of this? Try to understand. Suppose that I'm going to create a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so in this, 6 elements are there. 6 elements are there. So inside your memory, this list object will be created like this. This list object will be created, and inside this, some 6 elements are going to be stored like this. 1 is there, then 2 is there, then 3 is there, then 4 is there, 5 and 6. Okay, like this your elements are going to be stored. 10, 20 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, and x is what? X is a variable which is going to point to this value. X is a variable which is going to point to the list object. Now, if any object is mutable, if any data type is mutable, what is the meaning of this? So mutable means, or mutable objects means the objects that can be changed, after its creation. So mutable means whatever object you are creating, we can modify that object. For example, if I can say, take this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements are there in this. Suppose that I want to change this 4 with 400. I want to change this 4 with 400. So it is a list type. So list is mutable in nature, that we have discussed in the last video. So those who have not gone through the videos, please go through each and every video. All these videos are important for you. Coming to the list, so at last we have discussed list is mutable in nature. Okay, list is mutable in nature and tuple is immutable in nature. So list is mutable in nature means once you are creating a list, you can perform changes in this list. Now suppose that I want to change this 4 with 400. So how we will do this thing? We will write x square bracket. X is what? Variable name. Square bracket means which element you want to access. Now, what is the index of this 4? It is 0, 1, 2, 3. It is third index, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, I am writing x of 3 is equal to some value. I am giving something like 400. Okay, something like 400. And where these changes are going to be done? Remember this thing, these changes are going to be done. Right now, original x object is this one. Now this 4 is going to be changed with 400. So here itself, your changes are going to be done. So suppose that the memory location of this x variable is, suppose that 100. Okay, x is my object which is there, and I am going to change that object. I am going to change the data of that list object. So can we do this thing? Yes, it is a list type. That's why we can perform changes. Now, how we can cross verify it? Do one thing, just write print id of x. What is the meaning of this? What we are doing? Before changes, I am going to check at which memory location this X is stored. Same as it is, after applying this functionality, again, after performing these changes, again check what is the memory location of this X. Now, if both the memory locations are same, what is the meaning of this? This means that whatever changes I have done here, that changes has been done into one object that is nothing but your original list. That is nothing but your original list object or list data type. So let me run this and check whether both are same or both are different. See, both memory locations are same. What is the meaning of this? Whatever changes I have done here, that changes are going to be reflected into your original object. This is one object which is there, and inside this your changes are going to be done. So this is the meaning of list. This is the meaning of mutable objects. Mutable objects means once I am creating a list object, I can perform changes in this. You can add any element, you can delete any element, you can modify any element. All these things are possible. We can do all those things. Now, next one thing is important. What are the objects which are mutable in nature, or what are the data types which are mutable in nature? So mutable objects are your list is mutable in nature, your set is mutable in nature, okay, and your dictionary is mutable in nature. So basically these three data types are mutable in nature. So what is the meaning of this? Once you are creating any object, we can perform changes in that. Your changes are possible. You can add any element, you can delete any element, you can modify any element. All these things are possible in these three data types. So this is known as mutable objects. What is the meaning of mutable objects? You can perform changes. Once you are creating an object, you can perform changes in that. No any issue is there, you can perform changes. Okay, that is the meaning of mutable objects. Now, what is immutable objects? So immutable objects means fixed object. Once you are creating that object, you can't perform any kind of changes in that. Any kind of changes is not possible in such type of data, such type of objects. Now, if I can see the definition of this, so immutable objects means the objects that cannot be changed after its creation. That means it is fixed. Once you are creating an object, you cannot perform any type of changes in that. So now coming to the immutable objects. What are your immutable objects? Your string is immutable object. Then your tuple is immutable object. Then your int is immutable object. Float is immutable objects. All these things are immutable objects. Your bool is immutable objects and so on. So other than these three, all objects are immutable objects. Okay. Now let me show you how we can show this thing. What we will do. So yesterday we have already taken care. Tuple is immutable in nature. In last video we have discussed tuple is immutable in nature. What is the meaning of this? So suppose that I am creating one tuple 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This tuple I am creating. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now same it is. The all things are same. Okay, x is going to point to this, and right now what is the type of this? It is of tuple type. It is of tuple type T. The type of this is nothing but your tuple type. Now x is my variable which is going to point to the tuple type. Now again same thing I am going to do. I am going to change this 4 with some other number. With some other number I am going to do. So what is the index of 4? It is 3. X of 3 is equal to something like 500 I am giving. Okay, and before changes, check what is the memory location of this X. And after this, again check what is the memory location of this X. Okay, see whether these changes are there or not, or we will get an error. Two possibilities are there. Whether the changes are going to be done into the original list object, or an error is going to come. See. This is my location. Now you can see we are getting type error. Why we are getting type error? Because this is of tuple type, and how you can perform changes in tuple? Because tuple is a immutable objects. Immutable objects means you can't perform changes. Once you are creating it, the changes cannot be done. Any type of changes you cannot do. That means once this object is created, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 elements are fixed. You cannot add any element. You cannot delete any element. You cannot modify any element. These changes cannot be done in tuple object. So tuple is the immutable nature. Same as it is, if I can take example of string, I am writing x is equal to hello world. Now what I want to replace this e with some other value, like p. So can we do this thing? Let's check. X of e index is 1. X of 1 is equal to something like p I am giving. So check whether we can perform the changes or not. It is immutable in nature. So if it is immutable in nature, can we perform changes? The answer is no, we cannot perform changes in this. If I am going to run this, see, again error is coming. Why error is coming? Because you are trying to change this string, and a string is immutable object. So if it is an immutable object, how we can perform changes in that? So this changes cannot be. Okay, so this is your mutable objects and immutable objects. Mutable means you can perform changes. Once you are creating it, you can perform changes. And what about immutable objects? Immutable objects means the changes in that you cannot perform the change in that objects you cannot perform changes. So that is your mutable and immutable objects. Now there is one assignment that I need to give it. Please check with int, float, and boolean whether changes are there or not, and if the changes are there, then whether that changes is going to be done into original object or one new object is created. Okay, in same object the changes are there, or in new object the changes are there. So this is all about your mutable object and immutable object. Okay, so I hope you like the video. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Along with that, if you guys have any kind of doubt in any of the things, please mention your doubt in the comment section. I will take all your doubts. Thanks everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel.